Hi there, Melissa. Hi, everyone else. We're going to start with Peugeot Citroën, which is trying to dig itself out of a very deep financial hole. Europe's number 2 car maker has struck a deal now with the French government as well as with Dongfeng, the Chinese car maker, to increase its capital by around about 3 billion euros. That was confirmed earlier this Wednesday when the French car maker also reported a loss of 2.3 billion euros for the year 2013. Despite that, the outgoing chief executive, Philippe Varin, he's trying to sound an upbeat note, really. We spoke to him here earlier at France 24, and he says that he's handing over a company in good shape. Shirley Sitbon has more.
Peugeot says it's stopping the bleeding. Losses were still high in 2013, but half as much as the previous year. CEO Pierre Varin is stepping down, leaving the job to Carlos Tavares. According to Varin, although the company is in the red, it's in a much brighter state than before.
What I'm very proud of today is that I will be in a position to give to Carlos Tavares the keys of the car in a fantastic shape.
PSA Peugeot Citroën, the second European carmaker, has sealed a deal with the French state and with Chinese company Dongfeng, which invested a much-needed 800 million euros each. The main goal now is boosting car sales in Asia, the biggest expanding market. PSA Peugeot Citroën is lagging behind its rivals there. This is Peugeot in Chinese, on one of the company's stores in Beijing. To expand global sales, Peugeot will invest in developing hybrid technology and in low-cost cars. But with the new deal, Dongfeng and the French state have the same weight as the Peugeot family, 14% each. The company has 3 drivers. Each one has its own interests. The French have already set a few conditions.
No plant will be shut down. Peugeot will have to make 1 million cars per year in France until 2016, invest 1.5 billion euros, and keep 75% of its research labs in France.
Meanwhile, managers and their Chinese allies signal production may be taken out of France to slash costs. Workers' unions are dreading new company shutdowns in a few years' time.
France and Germany want to strike a deal on a European financial transactions tax before May. François Hollande and Angela Merkel outlined that ambition during a joint meeting here in Paris on Wednesday. Merkel said that a deal before May, when voters will elect a new European Parliament, is a very important signal. Both leaders have committed to a tax on stock and bond transactions, but the idea is facing opposition from the financial sector, and so far only 11 European Union countries have expressed support.
There is will on both sides, and this is something which has united us from the beginning, to find an agreement on the financial transactions tax before the European elections.
And speaking about financial markets, let's bring you up to date with the stock markets this hour. In the United States, the indices were in the green at the start of trading, but we're seeing those indices come down this hour. This, though, is the European close. As you can see here, we saw a little bit of a mixed picture in Europe at the close. Let's bring you first of all then to the United States. As I said, we're seeing stocks trading to the downside after a positive opening. Investors, they're waiting for the minutes from the Federal Reserve's most recent rate-setting meeting for clues on where American monetary policy is going next, and perhaps some uncertainty ahead of that. Let's talk you through Europe then. The CAC 40 here in Europe was the only outlier when it comes to the main indices. It ended up 0.25%, whereas the DAX 30 in Frankfurt and the FTSE 100 in London were pretty flat at the close. Let's talk you through a few individual shares. Shares in Crédit Agricole gained as the French bank swung back into black. The lender posted a fourth quarter profit of 612 million euros, slightly less than expected, but it was much better than the 4 billion quarterly loss announced this time last year. Crédit Agricole has suffered because of bad bets in Greece, Spain and Portugal, but it is now seen to be recovering from those bets. Meanwhile, the health of the entire French banking sector seems to be getting better. Natixis has also posted higher fourth quarter earnings. France's fourth biggest bank by market value reported an underlying profit of 261 million euros for the period between October and December. Natixis says that a cost-cutting drive is paying off. And one more company in the spotlight. Britain has reached a deal with Saudi Arabia on the price of a massive fighter contract. That's according to UK defence company BAE Systems, which will supply the Eurofighter jets. Saudi Arabia agreed to buy 72 planes back in 2007 for £4.5 billion, but the deal got into trouble over rising costs. BAE says the outcome is equitable, but it's not announcing the exact details of this new agreement. I'll be back with more business news in around about an hour and a half here on France 24. For now, though, it's back to you, Melissa.
Thank you very much, Marcus. 52 minutes past 6. Time for a look at the latest sports news. I'm joined by Dan Levy. Hello, Dan.
Hi.
In the Champions League, first of all,